Okay, so after question 2, you've got question 3, which is really simple. We have two questions. Which solvent caused the ink from the dots to move the most? Which caused the ink from the dots to move the least? All you have to do is go back to your data table, take a look at each of the solvents. Which one has biggest distances? That's the one that made them move the most. Which one has smallest distances? That's the one that made the ink move the least. You just fill in the blanks. I give you 2 points for each correct answer, total of 4 points. That's a real easy one. Let's go down to question 4. What differences did you observe and how the different colored inks were separated? Now this is kind of a tricky question because they don't really tell you what they're looking for. They just say differences. So how is it not the same? The way that the different colored inks are separated. So all we can really do is point out the two things that we measured, which is how far the inks traveled and the number of colors that we had. Now remember, they don't talk about the different solvents, only the different inks. So what we're going to do is we're going to tell me, or your teacher, which of the inks on average traveled the most, which of the inks on average traveled the least, and which of the inks on average traveled a medium amount. And if they all tie, or two of them tie, you can write that, right? So you can have most for two of them and least for one, something like that. So what we'll do is we'll look at the data table, and we're not looking at the solvents, we're looking at the ink colors. Now maybe we'll look at one solvent in particular and compare the different inks across that one solvent to figure out which ink traveled the farthest. Or we might kind of look at them all and say, is there a pattern throughout all solvents? Maybe one of the ink colors traveled the most. I don't know. But you look at that and you write down, you figure it out. And now the second thing we measured was the number of colors separated. So we're going to rank the different ink colors from the most colors that it broke down into to the least colors that it broke down into. That's what we'll do for that one. Okay, so I'm going to give you 1 point for each correct answer. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares to fill out in this table. So that's 6 possible points right there.